Captain Sarah Chen stood at the observation deck of the ESS Hyperion, watching the swirling quantum slipstream dissipate as they emerged in the Proxima Centauri system. The experimental warship, humanity's best-kept secret, had remained hidden during 5 years of diplomatic relations with the Centauri Alliance. Now, as she observed the massive alien fleet surrounding Earth's newest colony, she knew they'd need every advantage they could get. Multiple hostile signatures detected, Captain. Lieutenant Marcus Wong reported from his tactical station. Counting 37 Centauri warships in attack formation around New Eden. They're jamming all communications from the surface. Sarah's jaw tightened. Just 6 hours ago, she'd received the emergency quantum transmission from Admiral Hayes. The diplomatic summit on New Eden had been a trap. The Centauri Alliance, supposedly interested in peaceful cooperation, had revealed their true colors. Their ambassador, Zextar, had delivered an ultimatum: Earth's immediate surrender and colonization rights to all terraform-capable planets within 100 light-years of Sol. Life signs on the surface? Sarah asked, her dark eyes fixed on the blue-green orb of New Eden. Reading approximately 50,000 colonists, Marcus replied, and multiple orbital bombardment signatures. They're targeting civilian centers. The bridge fell silent. 5 years of peace, of sharing technology and resources, of building trust. All of it had been a carefully orchestrated deception. The Centauri had been studying humanity's weaknesses, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Deploy quantum shields, Sarah ordered, her voice steady despite the rage building inside her. Begin emergency evacuation protocols, and send a message to the Centauri flagship. Channel open, Captain. Sarah stepped forward, her reflection in the reinforced viewport showing a woman in her early 40s, with short black hair and the determined expression of someone who'd spent their entire life preparing for this moment. This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth spaceship Hyperion to Centauri forces. You are in violation of the Sol Centauri Peace Accord. Cease your attack on our colony immediately, or we will be forced to respond. The main view screen flickered to life, revealing the angular features of Supreme Commander Vexilon. His crystalline skin caught the light of Proxima Centauri, creating rainbow refractions across the bridge. Ah, the humans send a single ship. Vexilon's translator conveyed his amusement. Your species' arrogance truly knows no bounds. Did you think we wouldn't notice your secret colonization efforts beyond the agreed-upon territories? Your kind spreads like a virus across the galaxy. Sarah's expression remained neutral. Those accusations are false, Commander. We've adhered to every term of the accord. Stand down your forces. You are in no position to make demands, Vexilon sneered. Our intelligence suggests your vessel is a prototype, untested in actual combat. Surrender now, and we'll ensure your crew's survival as we remake Earth in our image. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. You're right about one thing, Commander. The Hyperion is indeed a prototype. Would you like to know what we've been prototyping? Without waiting for a response, she nodded to Marcus. Tactical. Initiate Protocol Omega. Target their primary weapons arrays only. The Hyperion's hull began to shimmer as thousands of quantum particles activated simultaneously. The vessel's true form emerged, not the sleek diplomatic courier they'd pretended to be, but a warship unlike anything the galaxy had seen. By the creators, Vexilon whispered, his crystalline features reflecting sudden fear as his sensors revealed the truth. What have you done? We learned from history, Commander. Humanity has faced extinction-level threats before. We've been invaded, enslaved, nearly wiped out. Each time, we survived. Each time, we grew stronger. Sarah's voice carried the weight of centuries of human perseverance. The Hyperion isn't just a warship. It's a testament to human ingenuity and determination. The ship's quantum arrays came online, creating micro-singularities that bent space-time itself. Before the Centauri fleet could react, precision-targeted quantum beams disabled the weapons systems of 3 of their largest vessels. That was a warning. Sarah declared. "The next demonstration won't be so gentle. Release our colonists, withdraw your forces, and we can still resolve this diplomatically." Vexilon's features hardened. "You've revealed your hand too soon, Captain. One ship, no matter how advanced, cannot stand against our entire fleet. All vessels, open fire. Destroy that abomination." As hundreds of energy beams converged on the Hyperion's position, Sarah allowed herself another small smile. "Tactical. Deploy quantum mirrors. Let's show them what humanity's been working on these past 5 years." The space around the Hyperion erupted in a dazzling display of light as the quantum mirror defense system activated. Each incoming beam was caught in a microscopic quantum field, redirected, and sent back to its source with pinpoint accuracy. Across the Centauri fleet, weapons systems began to overload and fail. "Impossible," Vexilon breathed. "Our tactical simulations were based on what we wanted you to see," Sarah finished for him. "While you were studying our weaknesses, Commander, we were preparing for exactly this scenario. Humanity didn't survive countless wars and disasters by being predictable. The Hyperion's quantum drives hummed to life, the ship moving with impossible speed between the massive Centauri vessels. Each pass disabled more systems, not destroying but deliberately incapacitating the alien fleet. "Final warning, Commander," Sarah announced. "The Hyperion carries enough firepower to reduce your entire fleet to quantum particles. Stand down, or I'll be forced to demonstrate why humanity's survival instinct is legendary across 3 spiral arms of the galaxy." Supreme Commander Vexilon's crystalline features fractured into a kaleidoscope of colors, a sign of extreme agitation among his species. The disabled Centauri ships hung motionless in space, their weapons systems rendered useless by the Hyperion's quantum technology. "You lie," he snarled through the communication link. "No species could have developed quantum manipulation to this degree without detection. Our surveillance networks detected exactly what we wanted them to," Sarah interrupted, examining tactical readouts on her command chair's display. "Did you really think humanity would broadcast its true capabilities after the Mars incident? After what your kind did to our first colony?" The bridge crew of the Hyperion maintained their positions with practiced efficiency, but Sarah could sense their tension. The Mars incident, when a Centauri scientific expedition had secretly tested biological weapons on the fledgling colony, had changed everything. Earth's governments had united, pouring resources into Project Hyperion, while maintaining a facade of technological inferiority. "Lieutenant Wong, status of the colony?" Sarah asked, keeping her eyes on Vexilon's increasingly agitated expression. "Orbital bombardment has ceased, Captain. Emergency shelters held. Minimal casualties." Marcus paused, checking additional readings. "But we're detecting unusual energy signatures from the Centauri flagship. They're different from anything in our database." Sarah's eyes narrowed. "Magnify Sector 7. The holographic display zoomed in on Vexilon's vessel, revealing strange crystalline structures emerging from its hull. The structures pulsed with an otherworldly light, reminding Sarah of the classified reports she'd read about ancient alien artifacts discovered on Mars. "So," she said softly, "you've been holding back as well." Vexilon's translator crackled with what might have been laughter. "Did you think your species was the only one with secrets, Captain? The artifacts we discovered on your Mars, they were mere breadcrumbs. Let me show you what true power looks like." The crystalline structures on his flagship suddenly flared brilliant white. Space itself seemed to bend around them, creating distortions that made Sarah's eyes water. Warning alarms blared across the Hyperion's bridge. "Multiple quantum fluctuations detected," Marcus shouted. "They're attempting to create a cascading reality displacement field." Sarah's mind raced. The classified files had theorized the Centauri might have discovered more advanced alien technology. But this was beyond their projections. A reality displacement field could tear apart the fabric of space-time itself. "All hands, brace for quantum turbulence," she ordered, her fingers dancing across her command console. Deploy secondary containment grid. Initiate protocol Lambda. The Hyperion's hull rippled as layers of quantum shielding materialized, each operating on a slightly different frequency. It was an experimental defense, designed for exactly this type of situation, though they'd never expected to need it so soon. "You're not the only ones who studied the Ancient One's technology," Vexilon declared. "Your quantum mirrors can't reflect what exists in multiple realities simultaneously." The reality displacement field expanded, warping space around the Centauri flagship. Disabled ships caught in its effect began to phase in and out of existence, their crews screaming across all communication channels. "He's lost control," Sarah realized. "The field is becoming unstable. At this rate, it'll tear apart everything within 500,000 kilometers, including New Eden." "Captain," Marcus's voice was tense. "Protocol Lambda is holding, but our shields can't protect the colony from this level of quantum disruption." Sarah stood from her command chair, mind racing through possibilities. The Hyperion had one more secret, one final protocol that even most of her crew didn't know about. Using it might reveal humanity's greatest technological achievement, but failing to act would doom 50,000 colonists. "Begin evacuation of all non-essential personnel to the quantum core," she ordered. "Initiate Protocol Omega-0. Authorization, Chen Alpha 79. The bridge crew looked at her in shock. Protocol Omega-0 was a theoretical operation, something they'd only encountered in simulation scenarios. It would transform the entire ship into a quantum singularity, allowing them to manipulate the fundamental forces of reality itself. "Captain," her first officer, Commander David Rivera, stepped forward. "That protocol was never successfully tested. The energy requirements alone will drain every quantum cell we have." Sarah finished. "I know, but it's either this or watch a colony die." Again. She turned to face her crew. "I won't lose another Mars." The Hyperion's quantum core began to pulse with impossible energy as Sarah initiated the transformation sequence. Outside, the reality displacement field continued to grow, threatening to tear apart the very fabric of space. "Commander Vexilon." Sarah's voice carried an edge of steel as she opened a channel. "You've shown us your hand. Now let me show you ours. This is what humanity does when pushed to the edge. We rewrite the rules of reality itself." The Hyperion began to glow with an inner light that defied description, its hull becoming translucent as quantum energy suffused every molecule. Sarah Chen stood at her command station, watching as her ship prepared to make history, or end it. "All hands," she announced. "Prepare for quantum transformation. Let's show the galaxy why you never corner a human." The Hyperion's transformation was unlike anything the galaxy had ever witnessed. The ship's quantum-infused hull became a cascade of impossibilities, existing simultaneously across multiple dimensional planes. To the Centauri sensors, it must have looked like a star being born in the shape of a human vessel. "Quantum transformation complete," Commander Rivera reported, his voice filled with awe. "All systems operating beyond theoretical limits. We're actually doing this." Sarah felt the change in her bones. The Hyperion wasn't just a ship anymore. It had become humanity's first successful merger of consciousness and quantum mechanics. Every crew member was now linked through the quantum core, their combined will focusing the ship's reality-altering capabilities. "Fascinating." Vexilon's voice carried a hint of genuine admiration. "You've achieved quantum consciousness integration. Perhaps humans aren't as primitive as we thought." His flagship's reality displacement field continued to expand, though now it seemed to curve around the transformed Hyperion. "But you're too late. The field has reached critical mass. Even if you destroy us, the cascade effect will." "We're not going to destroy you," Sarah interrupted. Through the quantum link, she felt her crew's collective determination. "Humanity has learned from its mistakes. We don't need to annihilate our enemies to win." With a thought, Sarah directed the Hyperion's quantum field to intersect with the Centauri's reality displacement effect. The space between the two ships became a symphony of competing forces, reality itself bending and twisting under their influence. "What are you doing?" Vexlon demanded, his crystalline features showing the first signs of genuine fear. "Something impossible," Sarah replied. "Lieutenant Wong, initiate quantum harmonic sequence." The Hyperion began pulsing with a precise rhythm, each wave of energy matching, then countering the Centauri field's frequency. It was like a cosmic dance, two fundamental forces of reality being brought into alignment through human ingenuity. "Impossible," Vexlon whispered. "You can't possibly understand enough about the Ancient One's technology, Toe." "We understood enough to know what not to do," Sarah cut him off. "Your people found the Ancient One's weapons and immediately tried to use them. We found their tools and learned to create our own path." Through the quantum link, Sarah felt her crew working in perfect synchronization. The Hyperion's field began to encapsulate the chaotic energy of the Centauri weapon, not fighting it, but redirecting it, reshaping it. "Warning," Marcus announced, "quantum core approaching maximum theoretical limits. We can't contain this much energy for long." Sarah nodded. "We don't need to contain it. We need to transform it." She opened a channel to all ships in the system, to all Centauri vessels and colony personnel. "Prepare for quantum realignment. This may feel unusual." The Hyperion's quantum field expanded rapidly, engulfing both fleets and the colony world. Inside the field, reality became malleable, subject to the collective will of the human crew. Sarah felt every mind aboard her ship focusing on a single purpose, not destruction, but restoration. "Now," she commanded. The combined quantum energies reached critical mass. For a moment, everything seemed to freeze. Then, reality itself shuddered. The Centauri's reality displacement field collapsed inward, but instead of destroying everything it touched, it was channeled through the Hyperion's quantum matrix. When the light faded, the scene had transformed. The disabled Centauri ships hung intact in space, their weapon systems restored but powered down. New Eden's surface showed no signs of bombardment damage. It was as if the battle had never happened, except everyone remembered it. "How?" Vexlon's voice was barely a whisper. "What did you do?" Sarah allowed herself a small smile, though the effort of maintaining the quantum transformation had left her exhausted. "We did what humans do best, Commander. We found a third option. Your weapon was trying to tear reality apart. We chose to heal it instead." The quantum link began to fade as the Hyperion's systems returned to normal configuration. The crew's shared consciousness separated back into individual minds, though Sarah sensed their experience had forged a connection that would never truly fade. "Your people have a choice now," she addressed Vexlon. "We've demonstrated we can match and exceed your weapons of mass destruction, but we've also shown there's another way. The Ancient Ones left their technology scattered across the galaxy not as weapons, but as a test. Today, humanity passed that test." She paused, letting her words sink in. "The question is, Commander, what will your people choose to do with this knowledge?" The silence that followed was heavy with possibility. In that moment, Sarah Chen knew humanity had changed the galaxy forever, not through superior firepower, but through the uniquely human ability to imagine a better way. Commander Rivera stepped forward. "Captain, we're receiving signals from the colony. They're cheering." Sarah looked out at the assembled fleets, human and Centauri, now floating peacefully in the light of Proxima Centauri. "Send a message to Earth," she ordered. Tell them humanity just took its first real step into the galaxy." The silence aboard the Hyperion's bridge was broken only by the soft hum of quantum systems returning to normal operation. Supreme Commander Vexlon's image remained on the main view screen, his crystalline features refracting light in patterns that Sarah had learned to recognize as deep contemplation. "Your demonstration was impressive, Captain Chen," he finally said. "But you don't understand what you've done. The Ancient One's technology. There's more to it than either of our species fully comprehends." Sarah noticed something in his voice she hadn't heard before. Fear, not of the Hyperion's capabilities, but of something else entirely. What aren't you telling us, Commander? Vexilon's features shifted, creating a kaleidoscope of colors that the ship's AI translated as extreme distress. We didn't attack your colonies out of mere territorial ambition. We were preparing, strengthening our position before they return. They? Commander Rivera asked, stepping forward. The ones who left the artifacts. They're not as ancient as we thought. Vexilon's voice dropped lower. They're coming back. We detected their signal 3 of your Earth years ago, originating from the galactic core. That's why we've been so aggressive in claiming territory, in developing weapons. We're running out of time. Sarah exchanged glances with her senior staff. If Vexilon was telling the truth, it would explain the Centaur's increasingly erratic behavior in recent years. Show me, she commanded. The view screen filled with data streams, astronomical measurements, quantum fluctuation patterns, and energy signatures that made the Hyperion sensors struggle to interpret them. But there was no denying the evidence. Something vast was moving through the galaxy, following a deliberate path. Our calculations suggest we have less than 1 Earth year, Vexilon continued. When they arrive, they'll find 2 young species playing with technology we barely understand. Technology they left as a trap, not a gift. Sarah's mind raced through the implications. The quantum consciousness integration we achieved. It wasn't just about controlling the ship, was it? It was a key to something bigger. Yes, Vexilon's confirmation sent a chill through the bridge. Every artifact, every piece of technology they left behind, they're all connected. A test, you called it earlier, but not the kind you think. They want to see which species will rise to the level of threat. And we just demonstrated exactly what they were looking for, Sarah realized. Her hands clenched the arms of her command chair. By stopping your weapon, we proved we could manipulate quantum reality itself. Now you understand our desperation, Vexilon said. We thought if we could control enough territory, develop enough weapons, we might stand a chance. But your ship, your crew, you've achieved something we never could. You didn't just control the technology. You transformed it. Lieutenant Wong's console suddenly lit up with alerts. Captain, I'm detecting quantum oscillations throughout the system. Similar to our transformation earlier, but larger. Much larger. Sarah stood, her decision made. Commander Vexilon, I'm proposing an immediate ceasefire and alliance. Whatever's coming, we face it together, or we don't survive at all. You would trust us, after everything we've done. Vexilon's surprise was evident. Trust isn't given, Commander. It's earned. Right now, we need each other. Sarah turned to her crew. Send word to Earth. Tell them to begin mass production of quantum cores, and alert every colony world, human and Centauri, to prepare for evacuation if necessary. The quantum consciousness integration, Rivera said thoughtfully. If we could scale it up, link not just a crew but entire populations, we'd stand a chance, Sarah finished. But it would mean revealing everything, all our secrets, all our capabilities, to the Centauri, and them to us. Vexilon's image shifted, showing what Sarah had come to recognize as grim determination. My people will resist. They've lived in fear of other species for generations. Then we show them another way, Sarah replied. Together. The Ancient Ones want to know if we're a threat. Let's show them something they've never seen before. 2 enemy species choosing to evolve beyond conflict. The quantum oscillations were growing stronger. Somewhere out in the darkness between the stars, something vast and ancient was stirring, drawn by the display of power they'd just shown. But Sarah Chen felt no fear, only determination. Humanity had faced extinction before. Each time, they'd survived by doing the impossible. All hands, she announced shipwide. Prepare for permanent quantum integration protocols. Let's show the galaxy what happens when humanity and the Centauri work together. The Hyperion's quantum core began to pulse with new energy as both species took their first step toward a future neither had imagined possible. In the space between stars, The Ancient One's signal grew stronger, but now it would find something unprecedented awaiting its arrival. 3 months after the alliance was formed, the combined human-Centauri fleet assembled at the edge of the Sol system. The Hyperion, now permanently transformed by quantum integration, led a formation of 50 ships, each a hybrid of both species technology and crewed by both humans and Centauri working in perfect synchronization. Sarah Chen stood on her bridge, her consciousness simultaneously linked with her crew and free to operate independently, a feat that had taken weeks of practice to master. Through the quantum network, she felt the presence of Vexilon aboard his flagship, along with thousands of others across the fleet. Multiple quantum disturbances detected, Marcus reported, his thoughts echoing through the link. They're earlier than predicted, much earlier. The space before the fleet began to twist and distort. Reality itself seemed to peel back like layers of an onion, revealing something that defied description. The Ancient Ones had arrived. Their ships, if they could be called ships, were beyond enormous. Structures of pure energy and thought, each larger than Earth's moon, emerged from the quantum distortions. There were 7 of them, arranged in a pattern that seemed to hurt the eyes if observed too long. They're scanning us. Vexilon's thoughts echoed through the network. Every frequency, every dimension. A voice that wasn't a voice resonated through every quantum-linked mind in the fleet. UAVACHIEVD the impossible. 2 species, naturally inimais, Jo INED in Kionitsiliousetsanius. This was not an anti-lysa EV. Sarah stepped forward, allowing her thoughts to project clearly through the quantum network. We are humanity and the Centauri. We choose to face you united. Your species were meant to destroy each other, the voice continued. The technology was left as ACATALWST or CONFLICT. Instead, UAAVCREATD harmony from CAAOS. This requires recalculation. The massive energy structures shifted, their movement causing ripples in spacetime that the fleet's quantum shields barely deflected. What was the purpose of your test? Sarah demanded. Why push species toward destruction? Evolution through CONFLICT. Survival of DHE STRONGEST. This is BENTKT way for billions of your years. The Ancient One's response carried something almost like confusion. Yet UHAVACHEVET or EAT or strength through UIT, then either species cooled through conquest. Through the quantum link, Sarah felt a sudden surge of understanding from both humans and Centauri. The Ancient Ones weren't gods or demons. They were shepherds, albeit misguided ones, pushing younger species toward what they believed was necessary evolution. There's something you need to understand about humanity. Sarah projected her thoughts clearly. We've faced extinction-level events throughout our history. Each time, we survived not by being the strongest or most aggressive, but by adapting, by working together, by finding solutions nobody else imagined possible. She felt Vexilon's consciousness align with hers, adding his own thoughts. And the Centauri, whom you thought would be natural enemies, have learned from humanity. We've discovered that true strength lies not in domination, but in transformation. The quantum link suddenly surged with power as every crew member in the fleet joined their consciousness into a single unified thought. The Hyperion's quantum core pulsed with unprecedented energy as human ingenuity merged with Centauri crystal technology in ways neither species had dreamed possible. Let us show you. Sarah and Vexilon fought together, their consciousness speaking for both species. The combined fleet began to glow with quantum energy, not as individual ships, but as a single entity. The Ancient One's energy structures pulsed in what might have been surprise as the fleet demonstrated not just consciousness integration, but something entirely new. the ability to evolve beyond the physical constraints of reality itself. Fascinating. The Ancient Ones communicated. UHAVDTORANSTNDD, the parameters of our examination. This changes EVERTing. The massive energy structures began to shift and transform, their threatening presence becoming something else entirely. Your species, HFY that our methods are FLA.wiki. Perhaps it is we who must evolve. Sarah felt a wave of relief wash through the quantum network, followed by something else. Pride. Not just in humanity's achievements, but in what they'd accomplished together with their former enemies. They hadn't just survived the Ancient Ones' test. They'd changed the rules of the game itself. We offer you a choice, Sarah projected, feeling the support of every human and centauri in the fleet. Stay. Learn with us. Let us show you what's possible when species work together instead of against each other. There was a long moment of silence that seemed to stretch across dimensions. Then, we HCCET. The time of testing is over. The time of learning begins. As the Ancient Ones' energy structures began to reconfigure into less threatening forms, Sarah Chen looked out at the combined fleet, at the impossible alliance they'd forged, at the future they'd created not through conquest, but through cooperation. Humanity had taken its greatest step into the galaxy not by proving their superiority, but by demonstrating that true strength lies in the ability to transform enemies into allies, fear into understanding, and conflict into growth. The quantum network hummed with shared emotion as both species realized that this wasn't just a victory. It was the dawn of something entirely new in the history of the galaxy. A future where evolution didn't mean destruction, where strength didn't require dominance, and where humanity's greatest gift to the cosmos turned out to be not their technology, but their capacity to imagine and create a better way forward. Together, three species, human, centauri, and Ancient Ones, prepared to begin a journey that none of them could have foreseen. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter as the combined fleet turned toward Earth, ready to share their discovery with all who would listen. That the true power of any species lies not in their ability to destroy, but in their courage to transform.